Hey everyone! So you may notice that I am kind of located somewhere else. Right now, I would typically film in my kind of like space where I do where my studio is. But right now, it's hot and I'm not trying to be extra sweaty looking on screen right now. That's not the wave. And not to mention this kind of theme of royalty is appropriate for this company that I'm about to share with you. So anyway, hi. All right. So what's been going on with me as of lately? I've been pretty busy and things have been, my schedule has cleared up just a little bit. So I also just wanted to say thank you for all those who have been patient with me and have been supportive of me during this time of me being busy. Special shout out to Zach Myers, who I've illustrated a book for. The real life adventures of Louis, the world traveling Chihuahua, and we learn the story of his life from where he started from into where he is now. And for children, of course, it's a children's book. And I think that if you are into the pups, go right on ahead and support Zach Myers. He has a Instagram page, Louis Loves Planes, and there you'll see the different adventures that Louis is on, and I think you would enjoy it. So I'm sure that many of you are aware right now of the coronavirus, COVID-19, etc., and the importance of staying safe. I see wear your mask, wear your mask, wear your mask, and wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. There is little to no guidance, not guidance, but just there's little to no slogans around building your immune system, I've noticed. And I don't know, maybe you've seen something and I don't, but I haven't seen a single one out there. For those of us who have already been kind of privy to the immune system building and just the different herbs and even supplements and things like that, actually it was my father who set that standard for me, because he's always been the one that has been speaking on echinacea, golden seal, vitamin C, zinc, the importance of those things. He's always been, for as long as I can remember, he worked for the post office. He was a letter carrier. And every day, every dawning, he would get up for work and you would hear him making a protein shake. And then on the side, he'd be eating a bunch of citrus. But he would do that. He would, be eating a bunch of fruits and vegetables every dawning. And then he would go out, you would smell citrus in the air, and then he would just leave and you would smell that kind of lingering smell, kind of with his cologne, and then the smell of citrus and maybe that little chocolate protein shake, and then he'd be on his way. Before school or some days, he'd be like, it's flu season, here's some vitamin C. He would give us vitamin C capsules. He would always have like these drawers of different supplements and herbs and things like that, and that's just where I got it from. It was from him. One of the things I haven't been familiar with was elderberry up until like the past maybe like 4 or 5 years. I didn't grow up on elderberry. I grew up on other things. And whenever I try new herbs and things, I'm always given like a little taste test. I'm wondering if I'm allergic to it. I'm like that kind of guy. I'm like super like cautious when it comes to like new herbs. My very first experience with using the elderberry in my cabinet was when I would say like a day or two after I left the casino. If you are not familiar with casinos, they have a lot of smokers. There's a lot of smoke. And that carpet, I cannot stand carpet personally. Like a lot of it, to me, reminds me of like walking on towels that you can't properly clean. But anyway, although I think how carpet they make like a home really homey, it's just ill. Any given rate. So, it's the smoke in the carpet. And the following day, I got like, my sinuses were really congested and my body temperature was elevated. Like not fever, but I can tell when I'm a little hotter than my normal body temperature. So what I did was went to the cabinet, made some elderberry tea. The tea was like really dark purple and I'm almost like, oh my gosh, am I going to get sick? Not because of it's purple, but because it's like, it's like elderberries. And I was reading up on side effects and things like that. But I decided to take some. So I took a little sip, waited a couple minutes to see if I was going to experience any reactions, and then, just drunk the rest of it. And the first thing I noticed was my body temperature, my fever, I'm going to call it a fever, but it decreased. And I felt pretty decent. And then my nose opened up and then like, I was pretty good. And I'm like, okay, I can make this regular. I can do this. So I've been a friend with elderberry ever since. Now, when it came to the elderberry syrups and things like that, I just never really messed with it. Never did. Up until I came across this wonderful, wonderful product titled the Elderberry Elixir from the amazing Sovereign Eats. Now, Sovereign Eats is a company focused in plant-based foods and transitional living, or transitional coaching. So for those who are focusing on leaving kind of like the carnivorous life or the carnivorous eating into more of a vegan eating, they'd be the people you hit up just for consultations, for coaching, and just ways to leave and how to gradually leave that way of eating into the vegan eating. However, I saw their elderberry elixir, so I got some. I ordered some, and my goodness. It came in the mail, I opened it, and I followed the instructions. The instructions are, as soon as you get it, refrigerate it immediately, and then they give you like the dosing or the serving size recommendations depending upon if you're sick or not. Stuck it in the fridge, waited about like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then I saw the serving size is 2 tablespoons, right? So I get a shot glass. I take a little sip of it. You know, I'm still cautious. I'm like, oh my God. And as good as it is, I'm like, yo, let me just chill because it's not just elderberry. There's other things that I've never had before. So as much as I wanted just to throw it back because it was just that good, I said, let me just take little sips and wait. I took that first sip and was like, damn. Like, oh, okay, so you're not playing with me right now. So, like, 10, 15 minutes pass, like no weird types of like nothing, no weird kind of symptoms, nothing. I chucked that stuff back and I'm like, yo, this is really good. Like, this is good, man. This is good. The funny thing about this was that I said I was going to do a review of this. I knew I was going to do a review of it as soon as I got it. Then I took that first shot of it. I'm like, don't drink too much because you don't want that container like half empty, like looking real unpresentable. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do all that. So I took that one shot and I decided to just like quickly get to filming this. Here's the kicker. Whenever people go out of their way and they surprise me or they do something extra, when it doesn't happen that often, you can really appreciate when it does. To me, that matters the most. First of all, I love surprises. Secondly, I love material things. It's no secret. I do. I love the fact that I can open something and see something else. It's like, ooh, a surprise. Like, that's just me. I've always been that way. And it doesn't happen often that you're given more than what you ask for. However, I was gifted an additional, and this is a hefty amount. It's like jelly. Some elderberry elixir sea moss gel. Like, I didn't ask for it. And I don't know, like, I love that kind of stuff. So if you're not familiar with sea moss, right now it's kind of rising in popularity right now, but sea moss it's good for your blood and your bones. It has a lot of trace minerals that's healthy. It's really good for you. Now on this jar, there's an explanation of all their services. Health consultations, vegan coaching, unique herbal blends, high quality spices, vegan cheeses, and jams. I highly, highly, highly recommend that elixir. To me, I will call it, just in my mind, it was the elderberry delicious elixir because it's juice. It tastes like juice. Go to the website, sovereigneats.com. Follow their Instagram, Sovereign Eats. There's a podcast as well that's really helpful. It's really short and concise and gets to the point in terms of like foods and things. I appreciate the extra, the bonus. I would like eat this on camera, but I don't want to do all that smacking. Oh, and by the way, this review is not my way of giving back. I have another creative way that I'm giving back, just as a way of showing my gratitude for the surprise, Oh, sidebar. If you aren't aware, I have an art channel on YouTube titled The Painted Fool's Paint House. It's the first art show of its kind, so I take pride in that. It's centered around a creative escape, but also teaches lessons, and of course, teaching them how to paint as well. I break down what tools are needed. There's like little lessons and little adventures that I'm on in that. So, yeah. But until next time, I am out. This was The Painted Fool with another product review. It's been a pleasure again, Sovereign, and peace, everyone.